Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video, we'll be doing the full review for the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. And I have been using the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 for the past 2 odd weeks, and I'll be sharing my experience. And I'll divide this review between the good, bad and the ugly about this device. Overall, I have to say this Samsung Galaxy Note 7 is a very good device, but everything is not perfect, and I have already done the unboxing for this device, so I won't go over the physical aspects and the general overview. Here are the specs as you can see on the screen, and the variant of the Note 7 that I tested was the Exynos variant. There is also another variant that comes with the Snapdragon 820 chipset. So let's talk about the good things and what I liked about the Note 7. The first thing that is apparent is the Super AMOLED screen, and Samsung generally makes one of the best screens out there, and Note 7 is not an exception. And I have to say Samsung has really excelled in terms of the screen quality. The screen quality is amazing. It's a Quad HD screen, and in terms of brightness, it is one of the most brightest screen that I have seen. Even if you take it in direct sunlight, it's easily visible. I would say even the Samsung Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge were easily visible in direct sunlight, but this Note 7 is even better in that aspect. So in terms of screen quality, Samsung has done an amazing job. Next, very important thing that many people ignore is how does the phone feel when you hold it in your hand? And again, in this aspect, I have to say Samsung has done an incredible job. Though it is having that 5.7-inch screen, and you might assume that it's a very large device and it'll be uncomfortable to hold in the hand, but that's not true. It's a very comfortable phone to hold in the hand, and that's thanks to this screen that is having edge screens on both the sides, and it's really curved. Also, there is a curve on the back, hence even when you hold the phone like this, it feels very comfortable to hold, and the metal edges, though it is having a metal edge over here, it does not dig into your hand. And I have to say it's one of the most comfortable phones that I have used for a large screen device. Also, as it's having that edge screen, it does have the edge screen functionality. It's here. If you swipe it from the left, you get to it. But personally, I would say I haven't used it. So again, it's up to you if you want to use it or not. You can have your quick contacts over here. You can also have your favorite apps that you would like, and you can also add some edge paints. So this sort of functionality is there, but personally I haven't used the edge screen, and frankly speaking, even when I used the S7 Edge, it felt like a gimmicky addition. I just didn't use it, but that functionality is there and it works if you use it. Now moving to the battery life, it has a 3500 mAh battery, and I have to say the battery life is pretty decent. I would say it's better than the Note 5 if you are coming from the Note 5, and it's very similar to the battery life that I was getting on the S7 Edge. In terms of screen on time, I was getting anywhere between 4.5 hours to even about slightly more than 5 hours of screen on time. Again, I have heard that the Snapdragon 820 chipset model gets slightly lesser battery life, but these are the results that I got with the Exynos variant. So in terms of battery life, I would say it easily lasts for a full working day. When I took it off from the charger in the morning, let's say at around 7:30, even at 11:30 at night, I used to always have about 20 to 25% charge. So in terms of battery life, the battery life is also good. Now Samsung has changed the port. Now it has the USB Type-C port, and it does support fast charging. So fast charging is there, but it's not as fast as the fast charging we saw on the OnePlus 3 with that dash charger, but it's decently fast, I would say. It charges really quickly up to 75%. Thereafter, it slows down, and for a full charge from about 2%, it took you approximately about 90 odd minutes. And it also has wireless charging support. Another new thing is that the Note 7 is also water resistant now. So if it accidentally falls into water, you shouldn't be worried about it. In fact, the S Pen, you can actually use the S Pen underwater. I don't know why you will use it, but it works underwater. And regarding the S Pen, Samsung has improved some of the functionality. It's more sensitive, Samsung says. Again, I'm not an artist, so I didn't notice that, but Samsung has increased the sensitivity of the S Pen, and it says Samsung says it's sensitive up to 4000 pressure levels. Again, as I've told you, I just use the S Pen to just jot down notes, and for that I didn't notice any difference, but it's very easy to write on the S Pen, and you can also create GIFs from videos using the S Pen feature. So S Pen functionality is there, and yes, now you cannot put the S Pen in the opposite direction and jam it. Now moving to internal storage, the good thing is that the Note 7 comes with 64 gigabytes of internal storage out of the box, and it also supports micro SD card, so you are covered. But again, in India we are obviously going to get the dual SIM variant, so you can use a second SIM instead of the micro SD card. In terms of camera performance, again, it has the same camera module that we found on the S7 and the S7 Edge, and that's a great thing. As you can see from the sample shots, the camera performance was actually really good with the rear facing camera as well as from the front facing camera. In fact, I've already posted a dedicated video regarding the camera performance where I compared it with the HTC 10. But one place where I noticed some weakness, though it has optical image stabilization, is that when you shoot videos, they are a little bit on the shakier side. I expected that to be better, but that's not the case. So that's a minor con that I have. But apart from that, overall, I would say the camera performance is amazing. Even in indoor lighting and artificial lighting, the camera performs brilliantly. Again, you can check out more sample shots in the camera review that I posted earlier. Now, if we move to the gaming performance was also very good with this device. It could play all the heavy games I threw on it. And the good thing was that even with extended gaming, the device did not tend to heat up. So that's a good thing. So if you're a gamer, you are sort of covered. Now, Samsung has also added this new feature called the iris scanner. It actually has an infrared camera here, and it scans your eyes and unlocks the device. And again, it works very well. Again, I have made a different video regarding that. So that is also a new functionality, and it works for most of the time. Next thing is regarding the S Pen. As I've already mentioned, you can also jot down notes underwater. So again, I don't know why you would do it, but you can do that with this Note 7. And coming to other things regarding the cellular call quality, again, I used this Note 7 in Hyderabad with Airtel 4G, and I got good reception and no network issues. The calls and the clarity was very good, and the other parties also did not complain anything about muddy calls or anything like that. So in terms of network reception, cellular network reception, it was a good experience. Also, though it has just a single speaker here at the bottom, it's decently loud and clear, I would say, and even the ringtones and the notification sounds were loud and clear. So these were the things that I really liked with the Note 7. Now let's move to some of the things that I did not like with this Note 7. And the first thing is that again, it has the new TouchWiz UI, and I would say it's sort of refined. And in fact, the biggest change you would notice is in the settings menu. But again, Samsung has removed the functionality of quick shortcuts in the settings menu. So you have to actually dig between the menus to go inside. For example, even to check the battery stats, now you have to go through 3 different screens. So that way I don't like it. In general, the performance was decent, but I did notice some minor UI lag, that is animation lag sometimes. But I could mitigate that by going into the developer mode and reducing the animation time from 1x to 0.5x. After that, I'm not noticing any animation lags, but before that I used to notice it. Again, you might not notice it because I was coming from the Nexus 6P and the OnePlus 3. They don't have that animation lag, but you can definitely reduce it by going into the developer mode and reducing the animation speeds. Next thing is regarding, and this might be one of the biggest gripes, and this will come in the ugly part of the Note 7. Samsung says that this Note 7 has Gorilla Glass 5 protection on both the front and the back. And the Gorilla Glass 5 makes it resistant to breaking. But one annoying thing that I have noticed is that this is now prone to a lot more scratches compared to Gorilla Glass 4. It's been just 2 weeks since I've been using this device now, and I'm very careful. I didn't drop it also, or didn't use it with any keys in my pocket, but still I just place it on my desk normally like this. As you can see, I have no covers, but carefully looking, I have noticed that I have now three minor scratches on this device. And again, I've told you, as I told you, I'm very careful with my devices, haven't dropped it or anything. And within just about 2 weeks of usage, normal usage, I'm noting some minor scratches here at the back. And I even checked this with Ash from C4E Tech, because he's also using a Note 7, and he also mentioned that his unit has developed some minor scratches. So again, in terms of scratch protection, looks like this Note 7, you have to be extra careful because it can develop scratches very easily with regular usage. I am not a fan of cases, but frankly speaking, the amount of scratches, 3 scratches that I'm noticing, very minute scratches, you have to look very carefully, but they are there. So again, if you're buying this, it's a wise investment to add a skin or put a case. Now, moving to another minor con is the fingerprint scanner. Again, I feel they have improved it over the S7 and the S7 Edge, but again, it's not as fast as the iPhone 6s or the OnePlus 3. Also, in terms of accuracy, it's good enough. I would say it works for me about 8 out of 10 times. But again, the iPhone 6s and the OnePlus 3 simply have a better, fingerprint scanner. It's not like it doesn't work every time, but sometimes I have to tap in twice. But again, we also have that iris scanner. Let me actually demo you that. So you can use that, and that also works. So iris scanner, if you haven't used it for a while, it takes about 2-3 seconds, but if you're using it frequently, it unlocks it faster. So fingerprint scanner, yes, it is improved, but still not among the best in my opinion. Also, moving to RAM management, the Note 7 that is sold comes with 4 GB of RAM, and I would say the RAM management is decent, but again, Samsung can still improve. In fact, I have also posted another video where I compared it with the RAM management on the Nexus 6P, which has 3 GB of RAM, and Nexus 6P with 3 GB of RAM did RAM management better than the Note 7. And its sad fact is that in China, Samsung is going to sell the 6 GB RAM model of the Note 7. But sadly, in other parts of the world, though Note 7 is a very expensive device, we are just getting it with 4 GB of RAM. Again, that brings me to the price point. Note 7 is a very expensive device. In India, it's priced at 59,900. That's almost 60,000 rupees. That comes to about $900 US. So you're going to pay a huge premium for the Note 7. And again, Samsung later on might launch another variant. And there are strong rumors that a special edition of Note 7 is in works that will have 6 GB of RAM, and that will come with 128 GB of storage. So I just don't like the fact that though we are paying such a huge amount, rest of the world is just getting 4 GB of RAM model. Don't get me wrong, it's perfectly usable and fine. But again, when you're paying the high price, why not everybody should get that 6 GB RAM model? So these were some of the things that I did not like. And the biggest con for me is that with regular users, I have to say this is a brilliant device that Samsung has made. The in-hand feel is great. Even in terms of grip, it's not as slippery as the S7 or the S7 Edge. The S7 and the S7 Edge were very slippery like a soap. But this one, as you can see, it's strangely just sticks to your hand a little bit, but still, due to the scratching issues of this Gorilla Glass 5, I would suggest that if you're going to buy it, then invest in a case, because I frankly feel within just 2 weeks, I'm noticing 3 minor scratches. What will happen with this device if I use it regularly for about 6 odd months? So overall, I have to say the Note 7 is one of the best smartphone made by Samsung, and it's a very good device, and the in-hand feel is great, and overall it's a very nice device. But again, you would be paying a huge premium for the same. Again, I have already posted other videos covering various other aspects on the Note 7. Links for those videos will be in the YouTube show notes. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.